Dear students, today we are going to learn about the chapter number 11, Human Body and Organ System. So as we know, different organ in our body are working together in the group and forms the organ system. So these organ systems are required for the proper functioning of the body. For example, various organ system like digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system, skeletal, muscular and reproductive system, these are present in our body, which are collectively used to perform the different function in the human body. So as we know, energy is required for the proper functioning of the every process. So the energy production occurs within the cells. Cell need the continuous supply of the soluble nutrients and the oxygen for the proper functioning. Okay, so this supply of the nutrients and the oxygen takes place with the help of respiratory and the circulatory system. So respiration is carried out through the three steps. First one is the external respiration. Second is the internal respiration, and third is the cellular respiration. So external respiration occurs between the environment and the lungs. It takes place with the two steps. First is the inhalation, second is the exhalation. Inhalation means we inhale or takes the oxygen from the surrounding air through our nostrils into the lungs. And exhalation means we give out the carbon dioxide from our nostrils to the surrounding environment. Now next is the internal respiration. Internal respiration occurs between the blood and the cells. So as we know, this red color is the red blood cells or RBC. The function of the RBC is to carry the oxygen throughout the body or different cells. So this is also the kind of respiration which is known as internal respiration. Next is the cellular respiration. So in cellular respiration, glucose is slowly break down step by step and releases the energy in the form of ATP. Now in this process, carbon dioxide and water vapors are produced as a waste material. Now see, cellular respiration can be summarized as follows. C6H12O6 is the chemical formula of glucose. So glucose in the presence of oxygen will give you carbon dioxide, water and energy in the form of ATP. Now next is the respiratory system and its structure and function. See, so respiratory system consists of nasal cavity, that is nose, pharynx, windpipe. Okay, so windpipe, it is a windpipe, larynx and trachea, and lungs. And fifth one is diaphragm. Now first is the nose or nasal cavity, respiratory system, and the respiration begins with this nasal cavity. Air is filtered with the help of the hair and the mucus which is present inside the nose. Okay, now see the function of pharynx, food pipe and the windpipe. Okay, originate in the pharynx. Windpipe is present in the front of the food pipe. Okay, so both the pipes, windpipe and food pipe, is present in this pharynx. So there is a lid at the beginning of the windpipe. This lid closes the windpipe during the passing of the food into the food pipe and thereby normally prevents the entry of the food particles into the windpipe. Otherwise windpipe remains open. So hence air passes through the pharynx into the windpipe. Now next is a windpipe. Windpipe is a swollen at the beginning due to the sound box. Windpipe bifurcates in the thorax, and one branch enters into the right lung and next branch is enter into the left lung. This is a windpipe. It is a swollen at the beginning. Two branches, one enters into the right lung, next enters into the left lung. Lungs, a lung is present either side of the heart and the thoracic cavity. So here heart is present, suppose it is present, lungs is present either side of the heart. Maximum area of the thoracic cavity, this is a thoracic cavity which is occupied by the lungs. Okay, and this lung covers the maximum part of the heart. Each lung has a double layered covering which is known as pleura. Lungs are elastic like a sponge. Lungs called as a alveoli, which is rich network of capillaries, and okay, this is a alveoli. Here many capillaries are present in the form of the network. Now walls of the alveoli and capillaries are extremely thin. Gaseous exchange and can easily take place across the thin wall. So as a large number of the alveoli is present inside the lung, larger surface is available for the gaseous exchange. So this alveoli are present inside the lung. Okay. Now next is the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a muscular partition which is present at the base of the thoracic cage. This partition is known as diaphragm and it is present between the thoracic cavity and the below is abdominal cavity. Below this is a thoracic cavity, and below the thoracic cavity abdominal cavity is present. Okay. So due to this, air moves into the lungs through the nose. When ribs return to their original position and diaphragm rise up, pressure on the lungs increases. Due to this, air moves out from it through the nose. So continuous upward and downward movement of the diaphragm is necessary to bring about the breathing. This diaphragm is continuously moves upward and downward. So in this way, air enters through the nasal cavity and also exit through the nasal cavity. So this upward and downward movement of the diaphragm is necessary for the breathing. Now next part is a blood circulatory system. So as I told you that for the proper functioning of the body, continuously nutrients and oxygen has to be supplied. So this continuously supply of the oxygen and the nutrients takes place through the two process, respiratory system and circulatory system. So this was the respiratory system. Next is the circulatory system. So blood circulatory system performs the various function of the transport of the various substance. For example, water, hormones, oxygen, nutrients through the different organ. Okay. So first is a blood circulatory system consists of heart. Now see, this is the structure of heart. So this blue color structure, these all are. Now see, heart is present almost at the center in the thoracic cage. It is present behind the ribs and between these two lungs and slightly inclined on the left lung or left side. So size of our heart is equal to the one's own fist, or its weight is about 360 grams. It is covered by the double layer membrane and the fluid which is present between these two membrane, due to which the heart is protected from the friction and mechanical shocks. Human heart is a muscular organ. It is made up from the involuntary cardiac muscles. So involuntary cardiac muscles is those muscles which are not in our control. Okay, heart is continuously beating up, so heartbeat is not under our control. That is the involuntary system or involuntary function. They contract and relax with the definite rhythm. This is known as beating of the heart. Now internally, heart is divided into the left and the right compartment. Okay, so left and the right compartment, and each of those compartment is again divided into the two chambers. Upper chambers are known as the atria, okay, and next lower chambers are known as ventricles. Now see, four chambers. This upper chambers, these two are known as atria or atrium. Here it is atrium, and the below these two chambers are known as ventricle. So this is the left ventricle, this is the this is the left ventricle, this is the right ventricle, this is the left atrium, this is the right atrium. Okay, so heart is beating continuously. Due to this, blood continuously circulate through the blood vessels. And there are two main types of the blood vessels which are present. First one is the arteries and second is the veins. Okay, so this arrow which is shown in this diagram indicates the circulation of the blood throughout this heart. Okay, so see, this left pulmonary artery and right artery is used to carry out the pure blood or filtered blood from this heart to the entire body. Okay, now this arrow, inferior vena cava, this left ventricle, superior vena cava, and these all are these arrows, and this indicates that the blood enters from the body into the heart. They circulate, they made the pure form and then exit through this left pulmonary artery and right pulmonary arteries to the entire body. Okay, so as I told you that there are two main types of the blood vessels. Through the blood vessels, blood is circulate throughout the body. There are two main types of the blood vessel. First one is the artery and second is the veins. Now see, this red color is the artery and this blue or purple color vessel is known as veins. So what is the function of artery? It is that the blood vessels, okay, which carry the blood away from the heart, it is known as arteries. So through the arteries, blood takes up from the heart and passes to the or circulate to the entire body. This arrow indicates that blood is taken from the heart and circulate to the entire body. Except the one which carrying the blood towards the lungs, all carry oxygenated blood and they are deeply located in the body and their walls are very thick. Thus vessels do not have walls. Now next is the veins. It is the blood vessels which carry the blood towards the heart from the various part of the body. This arrow indicates. That means it carries the blood from the various organs or various part of the body towards the heart. All veins except the one which is carrying the blood from the lungs transported deoxygenated blood, and most of the veins are superficially located in the body. Their walls are very thin and these are provided with the walls. This is a valve. This partition is known as valves. Okay, so see in the diagram, in this diagram, this blue color, no, see this arrow, the arrow which is towards the heart, it carries the deoxygenated blood, and the when blood is get oxygenated, it carried out through this artery to the entire different organs of the body. Now next is the capillaries. Okay, so arteries gradually branch out with the decrease in the diameter as they spread in the body and finally forms a thin hair like structure. This thin hair like structure or vessels is known as capillaries. See in this diagram also, this is the capillary. This arteries and veins decrease in the diameter continuously as it forward or branch in throughout the body, so it decrease in the diameter and forms a thin hair like network. This is known as capillaries. So walls of the capillaries are extremely thin and made up from the single layers of the cells, due to which exchange of the material between the capillaries and the cells becomes very easy. During the exchange, the oxygen, nutrients and the hormones and vitamins, they are sent towards the cell and the waste material of the cells moves into the blood. So capillaries unite together to form the vessel of more diameter, which are known as the veins. Capillary network is present in each organ. See, as I told you that blood vessels which carry the blood away from the heart, it is known as arteries. That means oxygenated blood. It carries the oxygenated blood. Remember, arteries carries oxygenated blood. Veins carries deoxygenated blood. Veins carries deoxygenated blood means the some waste material added to the blood, okay, and this become deoxygenated, and the oxygen, other nutrients, when added to the blood, it becomes oxygenated. So this artery, it is at the starting it is more in diameter. As it goes forward, it decreases in the diameter and forms the network, artery, and forms a thin hair like network. This is known as capillaries. So at this step, okay, exchange of the oxygen, nutrients and vitamins takes place between this artery or capillaries and between the cells of different organ. And now as it moves further, this network, waste material from the cell is added to this capillaries, and again this capillaries increase in its diameter and forms the vein. This veins carries the deoxygenated blood and carries the deoxygenated blood towards the heart. Okay. Now see, the function of the heart is to carry the deoxygenated blood from the different organ or different cells of the body and made the oxygenated blood and forward this oxygenated blood towards the different organ or cells in the body. So circulation, it is a kind of a blood circulation, that is the deoxygenated blood is enters into the heart and oxygenated blood is transported to the entire body. So this entire thing is a circulation of the blood. Okay. Now blood is a red cells or red colored cells which consist of RBC, red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets and plasma. So this all the components of the blood and blood pressure, types of the blood pressure, hypertension, these all are, or blood groups, these all are we will study in the next video. Thank you.